Hello and welcome to episode 115 of the Yoga Life podcast. How dare you? My name is Kevin, and this podcast is brought to you by Movement and Meditation with me on my website because I don't have a sponsor, so I'm kind of sponsoring myself, if that makes sense. Thank you to everyone who signed up for the platform so far. I'm going to be doing more 30-minute classes, as you know. You can do video classes, you can also do audio meditations as well, and new content is uploaded every week for only €19 a month. And you get to try a 3 weeks trial to see if you like it first, and you can cancel any time after that you like. So without further ado, I introduce my guest, Ben Forsyth. Ben, so let me do the intro first. I've known Ben for a while now. Ben was on the podcast a while ago. But it was audio only, so obviously now it's video. Ben is a videographer. He's also a former MMA fighter, a professional athlete, and he is also heavily involved in the coffee industry in different ways. Ben has trained baristas, but he also has a YouTube channel where he teaches people about coffee. And I'm a bit of a coffee novice, to be honest, so Ben has a lot to share on that, as well as videography, which we're here to chat about. Ben, hello.
And some yoga, maybe.
And some yoga, yeah. Yeah, and some yoga, of course. Yeah. Now, actually, funny, because how we first met was through the, not Bikram, it was through Init Yoga.
Yeah, but they did do Bikram there, didn't they?
I think
they
so.
They had Bikram and they had Vinyasa, yeah.
Oh, they're closed down now, but that was maybe about 3 years ago. And I remember like looking around the room, and there used to be sometimes like 90 people in that room.
It was huge.
It was huge. And then I remember seeing you were standing in the middle, and it's because
typical me,
just in the middle.
Yeah, just in the middle.
But because you don't like see many other fellas in yoga. Well, back then you didn't really anyway. So I was thinking, oh, look at this geezer, and he's like
full of tattoos.
Yeah, full of tattoos. Yeah. I thought I might have recognised you from somewhere, but yeah, that's how I first seen you, and then that's how I first seen you. But then we didn't get chatting for a while till after that. But you're involved in the podcast world as well, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, at the moment, no, but
you're kind of on and off. What's the story?
Because I really like this in person, and then I was recording in Camden recording studios, and that's what I loved about it the most, was just you're sitting there with the person, it's like this. It's lovely. So when the lockdown hit, then everyone started to do, like online, even like Rogan and stuff, for doing some online ones and stuff. And I just don't like, I felt like I'd be keeping it going for the sake of keeping it going and doing it online when I wouldn't really enjoy it. And I don't know.
Everything you read though, when you first start a podcast, is the number one thing is to be consistent.
I know,
and that makes you feel like then you have to keep putting out stuff. And it's that compromise. Are you going to compromise the quality, essentially? That's
what I felt like, and I was like, don't tell me what to do. I will not be consistent. But no, it is really important, and now I'm doing the same thing but with YouTube, but I don't know, like podcasting for me was never like, for you it's like, it's almost like you're podcasting for you is almost like the center of everything you do, and then everything branches out from there in a way, obviously yoga as well. But for me it was kind of just one of those branches, like an additional thing that I would do that I love doing. But I don't know. I do like it, but I think a part of me wants to come back to it in a few years when I'm a bit older and wiser.
Yeah. And
have more to say and all this kind of stuff. I do love it, but also like we're planning to move to Australia at the moment, and it's in the back of my head that I won't be able to keep it going then. And so I think all of this kind of stuff was playing around my head, like the lockdown, the finality of when I leave Ireland and stuff. Will there even be people over in Adelaide, but I don't know if there's interesting people over. I don't know if there's people over there. I don't know if there's interesting people in Adelaide. If someone's listening now,
offend the whole of Adelaide.
But I've been there, and it's a bit quieter, but I probably haven't just delved right in yet to meet all those interesting people. I don't even like the word interesting.
I mean, when you say, and that's interesting what you say about about it being my main thing. I was saying to Rach how if I was a millionaire, multi-millionaire, I would still do podcasting. If I had no money, I would still do podcasting. Okay. It's something that just really excites me. I think because I feel like you need some vehicle to get your to branch out and meet people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I think that social media is actually, I know I'm going to get quite deep here straight away, but I think social media is, I think it's evil. I think it's like, I think it's destroying the fabric of society, social fabric. I think that I'm very kind of, I have a different relationship with it now, and I see it as like a tool to, a bit like a notice board. Here I am. Don't forget about me. I'm still alive. This is generally what I'm up to, but I'm trying to find a more effective way to communicate, and I think that podcasting is that.
Because it's essentially unedited in a way, like, and especially the way you do it, because you don't edit afterwards and all this kind of stuff, you know. And it's very unpolished, but it sounds great. But it's, you know what I mean. It's, you get those kind of NPR ones that are like really polished with like you know, ads every minute or two, and then, you know, it sounds like, hey, welcome back to Life with Kev, and this kind of stuff. So
and in a way, though, you do need, like, I say the way I did my intro there and stuff, it feels a bit like late night with, but you do, I suppose, like any, and I feel awkward saying this word, but like any piece of art or whatever, something you create, there has to be some sort of like structure, otherwise it's just a mess. You know, it has to be, you're presenting something, aren't you, essentially. And although I like to feel like I'm natural when doing a podcast, you're being observed. So it's never going to be as natural as if you weren't being observed. There's always a slight.
That's something you have to accept as well, because sometimes I get like, Janet would say that to me, and she'd be like, oh, but you're a bit different in your videos than you are in real life. And then for a while I was like, oh no, I need to be more natural. I need to do this, but then you don't, because, you know, that's just what it is. It's what it requires, is for you to be a bit more animated and a bit more, I don't know, not you, but you.
You're presenting.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're presenting. Yeah.
I don't ask me why, but or maybe
Why?
maybe do. Why? But I watch these people breaking down rap videos. I'll explain.
Curveball.
Okay, a curveball, yeah. So, but my point is, one of the guys that breaks down these rap videos, what he does, he listens to the rap song, he watches the video, and he's like just reacting to it, and it's a reaction video, you know, these kind of, they seem very popular. And I really like him as he's reacting, because he's bopping his head along, and he likes the lyrics that I seem to like, and I resonate with him. But then afterwards he does a breakdown, it's like a different person. It's all like cut, and he's really slick, and it's just so mad the way he seems like not authentic. But you can't be, because when you're presenting, like you said in your YouTube videos, when I've seen your YouTube videos, they are more, you've clearly thought about what you're going to say.
Yeah, I've written it out. Yeah,
written it out. Yeah, but if you don't, it's just going to be a meandering mess.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
I used to just be like, right, I think I know what I want to say, and then I'd just sit down, and I'd be like properly sweating, like, because I'm forgetting things, and I'm like, oh, what do I need to say? And I'd have like little notes written out, kind of, and it would kind of help. But now I write out word for word the whole thing. Sometimes it's usually about 2,000 words.
Wow.
So I write it, and I just write it out every time.
And then do you put it just below the camera?
I just put it on the laptop on the table, yeah, and just kind of, and I sort of first, you know, I write it in a way that I'm like, right, I can remember that much, and then I do a space or a paragraph, you know, down to the next one.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, what's the crack, everyone? Ben Forsyth here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about da 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 da, and then I'll do a space, and then I'll actually stop.
And then you'll just cut that,
and I'll cut it there, and then I'll do the next one, the next one, the next one. And sometimes I'll go and ramble if something comes into my head, and I want it to be a little bit natural, so I'll start laughing about something, or I don't know. I'm getting better at it, but if I didn't do that, if I had no structure, like you're talking about structure there, I was way worse. I think my videos are better now, but I do sound a little bit more unnatural, if you want to say that. And even my brother commented on the last one. He was like, what's the story with this like posh accent? He's like, and he put it in there. We have a WhatsApp group for our brothers, and he was like, feel like we've lost you altogether. It's hilarious. But I think through teaching as well, teaching and constantly communicating, like podcasting, video, you do change because you're trying to communicate something the whole time. So I know that I've changed my accent, I've changed how I enunciate words, I've changed the speed of how I speak, like, because when I speak to some of my friends from like Ballybrack, where I'm from, I do not sound like this, you know.
What's the difference?
It's just faster and like more like it's like probably the equivalent of like when you hear like say someone from Spain or something, are speaking English, and it's very like slow and controlled, and then they're on the phone to their mum and they're like, blah, 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 blah. It's like that. So yeah, my brothers give me a lot of crap about it. They're like, who are you? But I think it's just teaching. And then even I meet a lot of times like people say from Brazil or Spain, like people who are non-English speakers who live here, and they'd be like, where are you from? And I'm like, I'm from here. And they're like, what? But your accent is like not. I find I've got a very neutral.
Exactly.
Because I've just been teaching I started teaching martial arts when I was 18. The day I turned 18, I started teaching in the local community center. So I just feel like I've had to communicate with people effectively for the past 12 years. Like I'm 30 next month. I don't know what month it is. I'm 30 in October anyway.
It's August.
Yeah, I'm 30 on the 3rd of October. And I've just been communicating for like almost half my life. I've just been trying to teach people things. So I think it changes how you speak and stuff. I think I'm going a bit of a tangent now, but and then especially when I'm on video. And now, like I'm speaking to you, I'm probably speaking like 10 or 15% different than I was when we were downstairs. You know?
But this is actually important to me at the moment, because I'm supposed to be starting a second YouTube channel, right? When I say I'm supposed to, I'm like putting the pressure on myself to do it.
Yeah.
But
this is sorry, am I allowed to say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like the more focused on for teachers.
Yeah.
This one, yeah. Cool.
Exactly. But it is scripted, unlike this, and it is just me. And it's shorter videos. It's going to be 5 to, as Paddy Galloway.
7 minutes.
5 to 7. 7 is the sweet number in terms of how long a video should be on YouTube.
But isn't it 8 now where you can get mid-roll ads?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so. But you have to be at you have to be at a certain subscriber set. But I think everything above 8 now you can get an ad in the middle, which is obviously good for your.
Yeah, I bet you got to be maybe at 1,000 subscribers potentially.
Yeah.
But the most challenging thing is recording in a way where you're thinking about the edit. That's the key. Like I ended up, I think a 6-7 minute video I was recording for about an hour, and I ended up the camera, the SIM card ran, not the SIM card, the SD card ran out, right, of memory. Then the battery went.
Because it's in 4K as well, isn't it?
In 4K.
Oh yeah, that's
and then I changed the battery, and the camera overheated. And it's just like I've just wasted an hour, and when I looked,
had you written it down?
I'd written it down, yeah.
On still.
Yeah, but all right. I feel bad enough. but when I look back at like the 3 minutes that I captured, it feels so inauthentic. But as you said, maybe my challenge is like just accepting that it's not going to be the way I'm speaking now.
I
it's
think
in a more presenter mode.
I think so. And I heard someone say before that it's not about becoming comfortable on camera. It's about becoming comfortable with being uncomfortable on camera, or becoming comfortable with being different on camera. So you just have to kind of accept it. You know, because if you're, I don't know, I had a few weeks there where I was just constantly just thinking about how I am on camera, and it ruined me. Like I just didn't want to make anything. It wasn't nice at all. I was just thinking, oh, why do you, like, I need to stop making that face. I need to stop doing this. But they're all things that I do. That's just so.
I do this, which I've noticed in camera now. It's kind of gross, but I do like that. I basically like wipe my nose. I wipe my nose, and it's not like there's no actual. Bogey that comes out or any liquid.
It's just a tick.
It's a tick. Exactly. It's a tick. And I used to scratch my head a lot. Yeah. And then I realized that my hair ended up getting all crazy, and I look like a bit like a baboon. You know, you're like kind of. Or Lauren Hardy. So now I do go for my nose. So every time I go for my nose now, instead of doing that, I put my hand on this hand. So every time I think like I'm going to reach for my nose,
you're like,
I just do this. Yeah, exactly. Put it down.
Tell me more.
Because when I used to work in.
But I think it's okay. My point is, you think you should be okay with it. I know there's certain things. Not if you're sticking your finger up your nose.
It's kind of gross. Though. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if it's something like that. But for me, it was like just going before I speak, or going. So most of my edits, I can see the before I speak. And I cut it after that, and that's when I know I'm going to speak. It's hilarious. So it kind of serves me in the edit.
It does, yeah, for editing, yeah.
Because I like stop and I go, anyway, that's and then I cut it all out. So I actually in video I sound way more smooth than I actually sound, because I've got a lot of M's and cutting all them out. Yeah,
that was the beatboxing. But that's a real good point. It's about accepting that you're going to feel a bit uncomfortable, and I I want to get the first video done, and I feel like once I got that done, and another reason I'm thinking about starting a different YouTube channel is I am paranoid that YouTube are like have kind of what's not punished my account, but
shadow banned it, kind of like Kate was talking
yeah,
about.
a bit like shadow banned it, because supposedly if you have certain words in certain titles of podcasts, they put you very low on the algorithm. I was listening.
They were doing it for COVID-19 during that.
Exactly.
Anything that mentioned it in the tag or description, they were going nah. Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm thinking I might even start a second YouTube channel and take the videos from this one and put it onto that
Just
one.
to see like
just
an
to
A/B
see.
test.
Yeah,
I've thought about doing that.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing that
It's
too.
not that much hassle. It's kind of pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing about video content, is that you create the video, you have it then on your SD card, but then where do you choose to upload it? You could, like the Fighter and the Kid have done, they've put their podcast now behind a paywall. Have you seen this?
No, but I like that.
Right.
Doesn't someone else does that? Sarah Dici, do you know Sarah Dici?
No.
Peachy Dici. She's a YouTuber, and she does that. She'll release clips on YouTube, say like a 5-minute clip from the podcast, and then the full thing is behind a paywall, as you say, which I think is smart.
As a teaser, like the YouTube.
Teaser, yeah.
So also Joe Rogan yesterday, I think he put a post on Instagram saying September 1st.
Yeah, the Spotify. Yeah.
Spotify, but there'll be 15-minute videos on YouTube.
Only 15 minutes.
Only 15 minutes.
Wow.
And he also said, rest assured, my podcast on Spotify will have video content. So they're essentially now allowing video just because of Joe Rogan.
Wow.
Like, he's changing the whole platform.
And I was 100 million to do it. Wow.
That's crazy. And I was chatting to someone on the weekend, Rachel's uncle, actually. He's involved in this field. And he was saying, I says, look, I love producing video. I think video is the way forward. It's the purest form of communication outside of in person, right? Especially when it's unedited. But I'm worried about being censored, about who I choose, like going on YouTube, right?
Like them having control over you.
Control, yeah. You know, and you see people, even like, I seen a video recently, I think it was Brian Rose, which I know is kind of a controversial figure, but
I don't know who it is.
Brian Rose?
No, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually, I think highly of you if you don't know Brian Rose is, because he's just like, this guy, he was banned by YouTube and then he started his own platform and he called it like the Freedom Platform. He's very, I used to like him, but now he's just really cringy because he's like, you know, one man against YouTube, you know.
Against the world.
Exactly. I need to do that voice later on.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be the sign off.
Brian Rose.
That's so good. But yeah, Brian Rose. So he's now like banned from YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So he has his own platform, and the Fighter and the Kid have started another podcast called The Fighter and the Rinks. Instead of Kid, it's Rinks, you know, because Brian
Oh yeah, because
right?
he's wrinkly
forehead.
forehead.
Wrinkly forehead, exactly. And they've put it exclusively behind a paywall, but it's on Patreon.
Yep.
So it's not like you can choose. So Patreon is designed that you donate.
I like Patreon, the idea of it.
I like the idea of it too,
Yeah.
but they're using it for subscription. So you can't even view the content without paying $5 a month.
Monthly subscription, yeah.
Monthly subscription, right?
Okay.
And
I like it.
the thing is, yeah, okay. So let's say like the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Pros is the people that really like you are willing to pay €5 a month to watch you, which is not a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
That's great. But then the massive con is your reach. And also you can upload your videos to Vimeo, which aren't as strict as
It's more like the artist's YouTube or something.
exactly, it's for artists. And then you can and they're very secure, and then you can put them on Patreon. And surprisingly, actually, Fighting the Kid have chosen to use YouTube videos on Patreon, which is silly because you can just share the link then and anyone can watch it.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Even if it's a oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because the only way to do it is anyone with this link can view it. Yeah,
Exactly.
That is the option, isn't it?
Yeah. So anyway, I sent it to Rach. She could watch the video without paying. So, but the point is, like, you know, if you choose to go with YouTube, you get really good reach. You can be discovered quite easily.
Potentially.
But only if you adhere to what YouTube want you to
doing.
talk about.
Yeah, and a lot of the SEO stuff. And yeah, I feel like there's a few things we don't know about, and this is what Paddy talks about. Did you reach out to him to come on this?
I did. He never got back to me.
Paddy.
Give some context to Paddy Galloway.
Paddy, he's an Irish YouTuber who makes videos about how people become sexful.
Sexy?
How to become sexy. How to become successful on YouTube. So he makes videos about people who have done it, and then he breaks it down. He does it really well, and then symbiotically he's creating a really big YouTube channel, which is kind of cool. And people, I love the comments on some of his videos. People are like, this is the real genius, because he's making videos about people who have done it, and he's getting the views and the money, and it's cool. It's very good. But he and funnily enough, he lives near here, which
he goes to DCU.
Yeah, crazy. I never thought. I thought he was gonna live, because I think he's got a more of like a Western accent, not like a country Western. Hey, buddy. No, no, he's got more like a like West of Ireland. Yeah, those YouTubers. He I think he's from somewhere over there. I don't know,
Sligo or something like that.
Galway or something. Sorry, Paddy. He's not going to listen to this.
Hey, how dare you? How dare you?
We can say what we want about him.
I've got almost 450 subscribers.
Oh, wow.
I know, big time. He's got like 200 million? No, I don't know. He's got a lot.
On YouTube, like 130,000 or 40, something like that.
But to me, I don't want to like interrupt. But he kind of breaks some rules, because I think he uploads like one video every month.
One a month, yeah.
One a month.
One really good one a month.
And he's done like 8 videos or something, and he's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
He thinks about them so much.
Oh yeah,
I mean, his thumbnail. He has like 3 versions of his thumbnail, and he sends it to different devices and different friends, and he asks them all. And he just waits. Like, whereas I just kind of take a photo and edit it and put it up. And I used to just take a screen grab of from the video, and they don't like that, you know. Even, do you have TubeBuddy?
What do you mean they don't like that?
They don't like it.
YouTube don't like it.
We don't like when you do that. You know, do you have TubeBuddy?
No.
TubeBuddy is like a plugin, yeah, and then that gives you like an SEO score of like whether you're following the best practices or not. I got onto it after Paddy showed me, and one of the criteria is like, you know, a HD thumbnail, like and they kind of know when you've screenshotted it, I think. Or something. Oh no, not that you've screenshotted it. Do you know on YouTube when you upload a video and it gives you the options, they generate a thumbnail for you. I used to just pick one of them.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that's what I mean.
Yes.
Instead of uploading my own, so they know when you've done that. So
yeah, the difference is, I mean, in fairness to Paddy, I'm calling him Paddy, I know him, but he spends probably a month planning one of those videos and editing, and it's like so well done. Whereas for me, I just turn the microphone on.
For the podcast or for
this. I mean, unless I know if I don't know the person, I'll do a little bit of research, but my research is like 5 minutes. That's enough. I just think there's a handful of things I could speak about. Do they seem like someone I could get on, not necessarily get on with, but someone who's open to talking? Because some people have asked me, like, why haven't you had this person on, that person? I can't kidnap people and bring them on the podcast. I have asked people,
and some people want money as well.
Do they?
Yeah, some people.
No one ever asked me. Maybe. Well. Okay.
So, wait, not yet. What do you mean?
Can't give you a cup of tea.
Yeah. No, I was actually talking to my housemate about it. She said that she was listening to some podcasts with someone being like, you know, you got to value your time and all, and you should have prices set out for if people ask you to be on podcasts. And I was kind of going, yeah, I'm just not at that level. Yeah. You know, I'm podcaster. I've done, maybe it's because I've done podcasts, as in I hosted one or whatever. So I know that you're paying to do it essentially. Yeah. Yeah, you know, and think about all the investment you've had to make in cameras and lights and all that kind of stuff, you know. So,
but I'm doing, but for me, I wouldn't have the podcast for the guests, and there's a share of like benefits there, as it were, like it's co-promotion or whatever. But I've asked people to come on the podcast, and typically people just, like 80% of the time people go, great, yeah, I can come this date.
I had that experience as well,
but often or not often, so let's say like then 10% of the time people want to know exactly what you're going to speak about, or what the objective is, and I just am like, look, it's actually not like that, I don't do that, and then they seem reluctant, and then the other 10% of people just don't get back to you, like, or they just it drags on and you're trying to arrange dates and they can't find a time. So just for the people who've asked me, like, why haven't I had XYZ person on, it's because I've asked.
There's a lot of moving parts.
There's a lot of moving parts. Exactly. There's a lot of moving parts.
Trying to organize 2 people together is tough.
In general.
Especially both, because usually the people you're trying to get on are quite busy people. Otherwise you wouldn't be having them on, because if they're doing something, you know, they're doing something of note. So it's hard.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's tricky, and then because it's location, and they could live in the country, or they could live, I don't know where they live. We're lucky in Dublin. There's a lot of people in Dublin and around the surrounding areas that they can come on a podcast. Probably could keep this podcast going forever just on people in Dublin, which is cool.
And what I'm thinking now is when Rachel gives birth and we got a little baby here, I'm gonna take this podcast then probably to my mum's house, and just there's a bedroom upstairs at my mum's house, and that's going to be a little bit strange to be like, oh, come, I'll meet you at my mum's house. Like, you're a 40-year-old man.
I think
it'd be like Will Ferrell in what's that film? He's like, Ma, the meatloaf. It's just like man-child, But that, I mean, it's good that I have that option, because otherwise it's that or the car. And the car's just, I mean, the car isn't, because this is now portable. They have a Rode sent out a pack that you can plug into this. But you podcast with the Zoom. Is it a Zoom?
I was using before. I was using the H4 and I was plugging mics into it. But I would keep. I don't know. Yeah, you're weird about that, aren't you? I would just keep it here. No, what's the problem?
But baby, what if the baby starts crying?
Just people can get over
it. No, it'd be all right. I don't know what
they might like it. Like they might be like, oh, that's cool. He's in his house. Like he's a real guy, kind of thing.
Maybe. I suppose we'll give it a go.
We'll do a poll now. Listeners, tell us, with baby or without.
Yeah. But yeah, so I wanted to ask you about videography, because I have met people on a podcast who are photographers, right? And I have done a lot of, including with yourself, collaborations with photographers. But videography is a different beast, man. Like it's firstly, what's your why videography?
I don't know.
That's a rubbish answer.
When I was fighting, I started making vlogs because I just thought it was a cool thing. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna, because you're constantly trying to promote yourself when you're fighting and all. I was like, what can I do that no one else is really doing? And I would love those kind of embedded series from the UFC when they had they follow George St. Pierre around or something like that. I just kind of love that. I was like, oh, I could probably make that myself. So I started making them on my phone, just going to training, eating, going to the gym, just random stuff. I actually was looking through loads of the old ones, and this is probably 3 years ago now or something. Or maybe, no, wait, hold on. What year is it? 2020.
2020.
16. It's probably 2016, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
When I started doing that, but then I didn't know anything about anything. I was using my phone for start, and then Janet got me a camera on my birthday in, I suppose it was it would have been 2016 maybe. She got me like that little Lumix. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Yeah. It shoots 4K and stuff. It's a really good little camera. And then, but again, I was doing them, and I just had it in automatic for the whole time. Sorry for a lot of people. I think have it in automatic, don't they?
Yeah.
Like unless you actually start learning.
That's what I do. Yeah, because I just don't know enough.
Yeah. So then it was only in the past year or two that I just started like, I don't know, like I said to you earlier, I just one of those people who just gets real into things. I'm definitely, for my whole life, I've just been like throwing shit at a wall and seeing if it sticks, seeing what sticks, that kind of thing. And then I don't know what it is that I like about. I haven't done the stuff that I really want to do yet, because I like what I like about video is that it evokes emotion. That's what I think I like about it the most. Is that you can make someone feel something. And I kind of got my first experience of this when I made a happy birthday video for one of our housemates, behind his back kind of thing. We were all down in Galway, and I got each of the other housemates, like 6 of them, to tell me a little bit about Aidan is the guy's name. Just tell me a little bit about him, say happy birthday and all this kind of stuff, and I cut it together into a nice video. And then we all sat down watching it, but he didn't know. He thought it was just a vlog from the weekend. And then it like stopped in the middle and was like, hey, so it was Aidan's birthday, and then it just cuts into all the messages with like nice music and all the kind of nice stuff. Yeah. And then he was like, little tears in his eyes and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's so cool, like. And so I just love that. And when you watch a movie, I've always loved movies. I know everyone loves movies, but when you watch a movie and you just get sucked into it and you're feeling all the emotions, and you come out of there feeling like Batman, or feeling like you feel like you're in there sometimes, and or it can make you happy and make you sad, and I just think that's what I love about it. So it kind of took me by surprise, because I never planned on it's hilarious now that people pay me to make videos. To me, like, that's hilarious to me. And now obviously I've spent countless, like hundreds of hours for sure, like practicing, learning. I spent all my time on YouTube. I never even looked at YouTube before I started all this, and now I open my laptop and I go YouTube, like, straight away.
Who do you like on YouTube? Who's your inspiration?
So Janet introduced me to Peter McKinnon, who's like I think he's a lot of people's favorite. He's got like 4.5 or nearly 5 million subscribers, something like that. But he's a videographer, and so I just when I knew nothing about videography, I just started learning. So pretty much everything I've learned is like from him.
Really?
And then little bits. Janet had done some photography courses, so she knew about like aperture, shutter speed, ISO, and stuff. So she kind of taught me the beginnings of that, like which one you should adjust first and which, you know, what does what. But pretty much everything is YouTube. And then a friend of mine. So I was around videographers a little bit because of fighting. So could they be around? They'd be in the gym making videos and stuff, and I'd always be a little bit interested in what they were doing. And then one of them, Jared Walsh. He's an Irish guy, friend of mine, and he makes like he's a director, like really, like he films and stuff. So I started in the past year, maybe I started asking him, can I just come and work with him for free and just learn from him, you know? So I've just been learning from him. So it's kind of between Janet teaching me about like the very basics of cameras for photography, and then she's like, I can't, like, I was the one who's supposed to be taking photographs and now you're getting paid to do it. And like, it's just because I just went all in, like, you know. And then YouTube and then Jer, like that's kind of been my. But I don't know why. Even with coffee, like I'm like, why do I love it? And I think it's hard to sometimes when you take a step back and go, why do I do what I do? Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it?
Maybe sometimes
it's circumstance. You're like,
don't have to question it too much. But video content. So Instagram is a photography. So was meant to be a photography platform. Yeah. But the content that does the best, from my research I've done, is video. Yeah. And even with Instagram, IGTV, there used to be like a 10-minute limit, I think, or 15-minute limit, and now they do up to 60 minutes.
Oh, really? Is
it? Yeah. If you upload from the desktop,
I don't use it enough.
Yeah, I just do it for these clips, like. But I do. Like you can do it up to 60-minute video clip on IGTV, because although I do feel that social media, so I should really say, like, social media is. I know I said evil earlier, but I think it is destroying the social fabric of the world. And I do think that it's something we need to be really careful about as individuals as well. But the good thing about it is it gives you a creative outlet, obviously, and it's a direct contact with people that you want to stay in contact with at mass as well.
And you can build a business around it.
And you can build a business around it, yeah, so you don't have to rely on a third party. But I think the use of little video clips is so important. Like I was advising someone this week I met for lunch who wants to start a podcast, and they said, I'm going to do audio, not video. And I said that, and absolutely. I think if I maybe could do it again, would I do probably just audio? Audio? No, I don't know. I think audio. I mean, they have pros. Both have pros and both have
different
cons.
Markets in a way, like.
And different markets, exactly. But I will say, for promotion wise, a little 2-minute video clip
on Instagram.
Instagram.
That's what I started doing towards the end. I started just filming 10 minutes, I think it was, and I just take the best 30 seconds from that and use that as a promotional clip. Exactly. And I thought it looked great on the feed, like better than a picture.
Yes.
Or a picture with an audio clip or something. It's so much better just to have. That's what I say about video. It's like 25 photos a second, so it's much better.
Yeah. It's true.
Or whatever, somewhere around.
But there's some quote. It's like if a picture paints 1,000 words, then a video paints 1,000,000.
Yeah.
Which I mean, but then what cannot be underestimated is the effort it goes into making a video. Now, obviously, there's different levels. There's videos you do where it's all different scenes and all that. I've done. That's a very technical explanation,
okay.
but for me, like, say even for me during the last 6 months or so, doing live stream classes, doing pre-recorded classes,
so much effort.
All the things I mentioned about. SD card running out, batteries running out, cameras overheating, not being in focus. The sound not syncing up with the audio. There's so much that can go wrong, but I really, really believe anyone out there who's a newer yoga teacher or trying to get online and do their online thing, it's worth the effort. It's worth breaking.
It's I was gonna say it's the future, but it's the now. Like everyone, the best response is to video, where even if it's just a 10-second video or something. Photos are great as well, obviously, but video, just something about video, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know.
See, the thing is, because when we met up earlier, you were saying how you were chatting to a mate of yours who is a personal trainer or wants to go online, and the difficulty there, for me, it sounds obvious, but is that you know, if they're a personal trainer, they'll be training people at home if it's their video platform, and therefore they're not going to have the equipment necessarily, the barbells, the dumbbells, kettlebells, that stuff. Whereas the great thing about the yoga platform is all you need is a mat, not even that sometimes. Have you thought about when you go to Australia, what you're going to then, if you're going to do something similar, like an online membership platform for coffee?
Because mainly for you, because of you, like, because you're doing that, I was like, I need to figure out how to get everything online in the next year before I go to Australia. That's my plan, is to everything I do to be online, bar shooting video, obviously, because that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Just hold your webcam up to and then just move it. And, but like that's actually my. I didn't know when I stopped fighting. Like my last fight was 2017, but I was due to have a fight in 2018. It was 2018 I retired per se. But since then I've been like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Like, what's my new big thing and stuff? And now, well, I've kind of realized I don't need a big thing. I just need a thing to do or focus my efforts on. I just lost my train of thought there for a second. But it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back.
Yeah, you were saying how you realised that going online is what you want to do before you go to Australia.
Yeah.
And that the challenge may be knowing what to put online. Yeah. I'm just carry on talking until you know what you were going to say.
I completely forgot. What was the question? There was a question, wasn't there?
Have you thought about how you're going to move online?
Yes. Sorry, and then it got me thinking that everything should be on, like, if I can move everything online. This is not where I was heading with this, but I think it was, because when you said that you had about your online subscription that everyone should subscribe to right now, I was like, it's like that's so possible. And then with COVID and stuff, you're like, like everything physical is not really guaranteed. You know, we don't know what's going to happen now. Hopefully it clears up and there's a vaccine and everything goes back to normal. But it's like online is the now, is the future and stuff. So I'm thinking if I could just move everything there between teaching coffee through video on YouTube and on some sort of online platform, and then making videos around coffee and stuff. And for other, like right now I don't have to, but I'm making videos for other, like the yoga video that did with you, and then, you know, different ones with restaurants and lawyers and I don't know, loads of different things to get some money in, basically. But eventually I want to just be doing mostly around coffee, you know. Go to coffee farms and meet families in Bolivia and Indonesia and stuff and make little documentaries about them. And so everything will be essentially online. Everything will be done through video. I think it's a good way to do it. That's what I'm hoping to do for Australia, because the idea of opening up a coffee school there, I just don't like the idea of it. Everyone's like, oh, why don't you open a coffee shop? I'm like, I just don't want to.
And plus what's happened the last few months.
So I'm just kind of going, I think I just feel safer with everything being online. I don't think the internet's going to just stop one day.
That's the thing about like feeling like having an online offering gives you freedom. It does, but then I couldn't now move to say that eco village in Tipperary.
You need a Wi-Fi connection, yeah, I know.
That's the. I mean,
is there an eco village in Tipperary?
Yeah, I went there. Me and Rach went there last year. Cool. I forget the name of it. Clock Jordan, it's called. I'm probably pronounced that correctly. Incorrect. CLOUGH Jordan.
Oh yeah.
Clock Jordan.
I don't know.
Clock. Okay.
Clock.
So Clock Jordan, and went down there, and I have to, because I might actually move there someday. So lovely people. Just want to say lovely, like Adelaide, lovely people, and but there was no internet connection. I mean, and it was kind of like dial-up style internet, and I thought that's a deal breaker now. Like, what am I going to go down there and be a farmer?
It would just be a complete change. Yeah, you'd have to work in a shop, let go of everything you're building.
Let go of everything, but that's the weird thing. Is like you when you got an online offering, the hour for the freedom. But only as long as you've got high-speed internet.
Yeah. Well, obviously it's possible, because before COVID, you would have been like, oh, I could never do only online. I have to teach classes. And then you're like, oh, actually, maybe I could not teach a physical class. I think it's just, once it's all possible. You could just go down there and teach yoga to them and be a farmer.
Yeah, but they've got about 16 people living there. They've got maybe 100. I think they've got 100. Actually, they think they've got like 112 residents.
Yeah, you could do it. It'd just be a different life.
Yeah.
Obviously, you wouldn't be chasing the things you're chasing now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, I mean,
could love it.
could love it, yeah. But also you're going to be far away from family. So when you move down there, me and Rach have more children, then we're not going to be near any of our family at all. And I think that I think to have the 3 generations together is
Cool.
good. It's really really important. But I don't know. By the way, is Janet from Australia?
Yeah.
Okay.
From
Is that
Adelaide.
why you're going to Australia?
Yeah, her family's there.
Okay, right.
Yeah. So she's originally from the Philippines, and then she moved to Australia when she was 13ish, and then grew up there. So she's an Australian citizen.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm getting my visa.
But if you then did if you did a online platform,
Yes.
that means you wouldn't. Would it be a subscription, like a
That's what I'm
membership?
thinking. I don't know. What I need to find is what is valuable to people in the coffee industry, because it's different than yoga. Like you said, you can just, like, if you have a yoga class video up online, people can just do that again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
But like, not so much with like coffee tutorials, or so. I don't know. Is it going to be? Do I have to build a video library of literally going through every single, like, does it just become an education platform then, which is going to be hard because by myself, there's already online education platforms out there, and they're like phenomenal. Like, I use them to learn, and I
Like
never,
Udemy and stuff like this.
no, more like coffee specific. Like, there's a crowd in Australia called Barista Hustle, and that's where I would get a lot of my education. And I just have like course after course after course. It's all online exams and all this kind of stuff. And I would never even want to contend with that. So I need to find something that's like individual to me, or not, unique to me, or that suits me, that other people will find valuable. I don't know if it's possible as well. Is the other thing. Maybe I'll have to couple it with having a Zoom call with someone per week or something, or like Jack was saying earlier, maybe a physical product mixed in. So you get coffee as part of the subscription, and then I have videos talking about coffee and how to get the most out of it, and so it's different, it's changing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think what I've realized is that the whole online platform thing is not going to replace in-person classes.
No.
It's not going to play. And I thought when the COVID-19 thing first happened, I thought that I was getting a lot of donations for about maybe 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. And I was like, oh, this is great. I could make a living just through donations. But then, and I should have predicted this, those donations started to nosedive.
Yeah.
And it's because people were unsure. They didn't know. And I think as well, because it was a moment of crisis, people were in that mood.
Coming together.
Like,
support each other, yeah.
Exactly. And I'm very grateful for anything I got. But now that's not the case. I don't have those donations. It's completely stopped. And I just started to stop it and do the membership thing instead. Yeah. But I've realized now that's just a supplement. And also it's to put me in a position where I'm then not desperate to take jobs because I need the money so badly, but I can be a bit more selective. Yeah. And it gives me more time to be creative, because I think when it all comes down to it, you said like, why coffee? Why video? I think that when you're doing something that you enjoy the creative process, that's
kind of what it is.
That's the most important thing. Like, I really want to put all my time now into doing an online teacher training platform. Yeah. That's my next thing. And that really excites me, as opposed to, shit, I need to start teaching 20 public classes a week. I mean, I love teaching public classes, but when you're doing so many, it becomes disingenuous, because you're just like exhausted for a start, and you're talking about wellness and you're actually in bits yourself. That's not good, but yeah, the online side of things, the platform, what I think the biggest advantage is, and say if you did it as well, some sort of membership, is anytime you went to, say, barista school, and you did like a training course, instead of saying at the end of the course, follow me on Instagram or like my Facebook page, you can say, if you liked my style of teaching, you can join up. I'll give you a promo code because you came to this course. Good, you know? Whereas, because the thing is, Ben, like, you've got these big platforms, a bit like is it Barista Hustle, you said? Yeah, right? You've got that in the yoga world as well.
Okay.
But these platforms,
it's a more personal kind of one.
People, when I go to these platforms, I search for the trainer. I don't go there because of the platform.
Yeah, so they don't need the platform in a way.
They don't need the platform. That's the thing.
They do. And it's probably because they can't build the platform themselves.
Or they just don't have the time.
So like you said earlier, if you can figure out the video, figure out how to make a website, figure out how to do it all yourself, that's where the real benefit's going to be.
Exactly. And otherwise you're tied into as well where they want to take the platform.
You're relying on people,
you're relying on, and also I've noticed these companies to say, like, they've some of them have like completely rebranded. Like say Yoga Glow, for example, they're now called Glow, and they're doing Pilates and these fusion classes. And some of the yoga teachers on there are like teaching HIIT classes, and you know they're not teaching yoga. And I wonder how much of that is the platform saying, look, we're remarketing ourselves here. Can you teach this type of class, or is it the actual teacher that wants to do that? And I know for sure when I go to when I used to be in Other Moves or when I used to be in Yoga Glow, I wasn't going for the platform. I was going for the teachers themselves. But
yeah, and I would do the same. Like if any of the like I mentioned earlier, the Peter McKinnon and stuff, or any of those YouTubers that I follow, or I would follow them, what they're doing. Like I started following one recently called Mark Bone. He's like a documentary maker, because I want to start making little documentaries. I'm planning to start one this year, just around coffee, around someone competing in a competition, basically. So I just started, how to make a documentary. It's funny. It's kind of funny, isn't it? But it's kind of hilarious. But you can do it.
Though, it's cool.
But how to be a videographer, and then 2 years later, you're getting paid to do it. So it works.
That's brilliant.
It works. So
do you know an Instagram handle called We Movies?
No.
WEE Movies. Yeah. He's actually.
It sounds like it's going to be some sort of fetish thing. No, it's not one of those.
No, it's because he's
I don't know what you're into, Kev.
No, I'm not even gonna go there. But he's a jiu-jitsu guy. He's actually a purple belt at RGA, Royal Grappling Academy.
Just touched toes. That was nice.
Ooh, hello. And so he's a purple belt, and he does all the videos and photos for Royal Grappling Academy. His name's John, a Scottish guy. He used to come to my yoga classes, but he has, and it's like I was chatting to him one day. He's come to my yoga classes, and we did. I think we did a video.
You told me about him. Did he come on the podcast? Not that guy, no.
No, he didn't come on the podcast. No,
a different dude.
But he did. We did a yoga video together. He's filming and stuff. But he said, I said, do you have an Instagram account or whatever? And he's very like nonchalant, like, oh yeah, it's called We Movies. So I checked, mate, unbelievable. What you said there about the coffee making, about someone being a competition. I think he did one about like coffee harvesting. Mate, unbelievable.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to find it.
Oh, mate, We Movies. Yeah. So shout out to John, We Movies. But he does these like 5-minute documentaries, and
that's what I kind of want to do on YouTube.
Oh, they're so good, and they're all around the world as well. So
that's what I want to do.
And you can. It's almost like he really gets a flavour for the. So I'm doing the nose thing again.
Yeah, is he?
I did the nose thing.
They're all about coffee.
No, that was just. I'm sure one was about. Some sort of agriculture.
I was about to be like, damn him, he's doing what I want.
No, he doesn't. He's
coming for you, John. I will find you. I will kill you.
Well, he's a purple belt. What are you? You're a...
Oh, yeah.
Mind you, it's like you don't know. You're bigger than him, so
I'm a lover these days. Anyway. I'll probably just learn from him. Yeah, like, hey, teach me something.
He's great. But yeah, that and that's another thing is like to find people who are doing something in a way that you like, and you can get ideas from them.
Number one, I think I put a post about that recently. Find someone who's done what you want to do, and just like get as much as you can from them.
And the thing is, sometimes you feel like you feel like you're copying them, but actually when you start that creative process, you often you won't copy them because you're just so much yourself will come into it.
Yeah, that's what happens. I did it with Jer. Like I shot a few videos with his kind of style, like to try it out, and then it was I dropped most of the things that because they're very unique to him. Like shooting stuff at what's called a Dutch angle, so rather than straight on, it's like this way, and it creates like a different emotion. It's more like an uneasy kind of emotion that it evokes from you, like a bit more movement and stuff. But like I kind of dropped that because that was very unique to him. Now I did do something like that in the recent coffee video that I put up, where I spun like kind of sideways as I was going through the coffee machine. But so like I dropped all the things that were unique to him in a way, but then I kept certain things like just moving instead of standing with your camera facing someone, just moving slightly left and right, just to bring some movement into it. So there's things I think you won't really copy them. Maybe some people. Some people do. I don't know. I probably copied them for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then when I started doing YouTube videos, I was watching too much like YouTubers, and I was copying them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it takes a while to find your own little groove.
I mean, I say to people like to other yoga teachers, sign up for my platform, and even sign up for it. And if you want to copy it, you're welcome to do it. The dog is back, isn't he? Can you help me barking?
Yeah, I can hear him. I love him. I don't mind. He doesn't like me very much, but
no, he's not.
He was half. He was.
You almost wooed him.
I almost wooed him.
Yeah, he's just not very good with fellas.
Yeah.
But Ben, any final closing words, sir?
Oh, I was ready to talk for another hour. It's Alfie. Well, damn you, Alfie.
Damn you, Alfie.
I don't know, what were we talking about? I don't know if we got to any conclusions of any of our points. I think we just rambled. People are like,
make
what?
your own conclusions, guys. Video, creating your own platform, obviously moving abroad,
being yourself.
All
the
but
cliche
copying
stuff.
other people.
Yeah, but that isn't. It was Steve Jobs that said like most of the great ideas are stolen from someone else. Like, but everything you do is influenced by other people, whether you believe it or not. You're always taking from other things. That's how the world works. Like we're all kind of connected in that way.
Yeah. It's like Steve Jobs said that everything you see around you was an idea someone just created,
which is great. Was created by someone smarter than you.
No smarter than you. That's it.
Great.
Yeah.
I love
they
that.
They probably were smarter than me, but they're engineers at
I'm pretty
Apple.
sure. Yeah, I couldn't finish college, so I'm pretty sure.
do you know? Actually, I don't want to end on a bum note, but I just learnt the other day, as in yesterday, the guy that invented the iPad, who had the original idea for the iPad, doesn't let his kids have the iPad.
Ooh.
Just so social media.
Yeah.
You know,
but I mean,
follow Ben on
Instagram.
The
guy who created cigarettes is probably the same.
Yeah,
probably a few of those.
Yeah, that's true. But all right, mate. So
I did have some direction I was going in, but I lost it completely.
What?
I don't know what it was. I can't remember.
Just in general.
I think I was just saying that that's what I want to do is eventually just have everything, like have YouTube as my center, and be making little documentaries and stuff, and that's it. And that would be my like the online membership thing. If I could get YouTube to be the thing that's my core income, I suppose, and then branch out from that. That's the real goal, and that's what Paddy was saying as well. It's like if you can build a relatively large, like a few thousand subscribers, a few thousand views per video, he's like, you can build a business around that. So I suppose then for everyone who is listening and they're yoga teachers or whatever, probably yoga teachers, like if you can even just do that, like have something as your core and then build around that. Digital products is another one that I'm trying to work on. That's why the voice notes that I was sending there before the podcast, and trying to come up with some digital products that people can download for not too much money, because I don't know, but the membership thing will work for me.
Yeah, you could always just want a pay-as-you-go thing, so like one-off products.
Exactly.
Another way.
Sell loads of them.
That makes. I mean, like it's like someone said to me the other day, the videos I have on my platform, would I think about selling them individually? And I said to them, how much did you value a 1 hour yoga class? And they said €20. I was like, oh, it's quite a lot. Okay. €20 for.
Yeah,
but
so
then
rather than membership, actually just buy them.
And you have that video forever. But then if I did that, would that compromise the people? If that's, I can't have that same video then on the platform. Or could I?
Well, yeah, it's a different thing, yeah, because they're paying a lower price, I suppose. You'd have to charge way more to get it, I suppose.
As a one-off,
wouldn't you? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, it's just a different business model, but I have seen other yoga teachers doing that. They have and you can actually sell them straight from Vimeo. So you can go onto Vimeo and they have a paywall behind Vimeo, and you can buy and then download it from Vimeo. Perfect. But then I'm thinking, if they can download it, they could distribute it to other people, couldn't they?
Yeah, because you have it. But would they?
I mean, and they're welcome to, but I'm saying, does that then devalue my online membership platform, which is like...
I think anything online is going to be, like, someone's going to figure out how to steal it. So no matter what you put up there.
Well, it's funny I shouldn't drop a minute really, but it's funny you say that, but a teacher I know from Yoga Glow said like, very humbly like, oh, you can do my yoga classes, or you could just like record them. You can very easily look at a video on YouTube or anywhere and just do a screen recording. Of course. But no one really does.
Yeah, because it's the 80-20. Even if you got that 80-20 rule where 20% of people are like, don't have the best intentions and are doing that kind of stuff, but you still have the 80% that keep you going and want to pay, want to support, because it's more than just about the content. Like when people are supporting you, like when I buy different sound effects packs from Peter McKinnon or something, it's because I could get those sound effects for free on YouTube somewhere and download the YouTube thing and cut it out and all that kind of stuff, but I don't, because I want to support that person as well. So I think, but you'll have the 20% or whatever the percentage is of people who will just be like, no, I'm not paying for that, I'm just going to get it here for free.
Yeah, that's it's funny. It's like I had a yoga teacher who did a week's trial of my platform and then cancelled after a week and just like, just wanted to have a look at what you were doing. I was like, I appreciate your honesty.
It's nice that they said
I was just spying on you, basically.
Yeah.
But fair enough. I mean, I've done the same myself. You look at, but as you said, it's the 80-20 rule, and not to be too hung up on 20%. Because that's just human nature, isn't it?
It's hard though. That's what I'd like. I steal stuff from whatever. I go on other people's coffees, YouTubes. There's only a few of them, but I go on there just to get ideas for videos and stuff. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd pay for a subscription to do it, but.
Well, that's the thing. It's like it's. I think the main message that should go out to people who are thinking about making content is make the content first and then decide what you're going to do with it. Like if you're going to put it on YouTube or Vimeo and have it on paywall, whatever, but just make the content, because otherwise, if you're working where you're essentially renting out your time, like Naval Ravikant says, you're never gonna you're always going to be in that fight or flight response where you're like, month to month, I don't know what's going to be happening. And then you can't afford to be creative because you're just trying to pay the bills every month. Whereas if you're creating content, then what I love about it is it's like, I've done that once, it's always going to be there. It's never going to go away.
So I'm not at that point yet. I'm in the fight or flight mode at the moment because I'm trying to get to that point where what I create is what's keeping food on the table in a way. But at the moment it's not. It's other bits that I'm having to run off to and do to keep the money coming in. But I know that you have to get past that bit. And you have to get to, and then I know in a year or whatever, I'm going to be like, this is, thank God that because if you don't stick with it, you're not going to get there, and you're going to go, YouTube's a load of crap, didn't work for me. It's always just about who's left. I think, in the same with jiu-jitsu and martial arts and stuff. It's usually just the people who just hang around the longest become the most successful at it. Like that guy MKB HD, Marcus Brownlee is his name, and he, he's been making videos since he was like 10 or something, and now he's got infinite amounts of subscribers and stuff and a huge business around it and stuff. But that's because he's stuck around. And he made a video at one point and he was like, I'm nearly at 70 subscribers. This came up on my recommended because they're weird. They're just coming up now. It's like, I'm almost at 70 subscribers. I want to do a little giveaway. This is my 100th video. So after 100 videos, he had 70 subscribers.
Jesus.
And he just kept trucking, kept going. And then now he's got like 20 million or I don't know what it is.
That's another great point, Ben, is like, it's the long game, isn't it?
It's the long game. And it's funny, like, me saying this, and when you're about you saying just make the content. Like, when I would have started off, I started asking JR all these questions. Jared Walsh, the guy who's already done all this, not on YouTube, but more on film and stuff. Or I'd ask people who've done it. And they'd always be like, just make it, just do it. Like, you'll figure it out, it's fine. And I used to be like, I just want them to tell me the thing. I want them to tell me where to get my music and what to do this and what camera to get and what lens to get and what lights to get and blah blah. And now when people ask me, I'm them now. I'm like, just got to make the content. Just got to. You're gonna figure it out. You just have to keep doing it. And I'm still figuring it out. You're still, we always have conversations about how do we make things look nicer and how do we record more efficiently and how do we improve battery power and all this kind of mad stuff. It's just that's the process, though, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's not. But it's not for me. It's not. It's a labor of love.
Yeah, you have to love it, and that's why I think I'm still doing it as well, because I love creating things. I think I was born to create, not to fight. Yeah. as I was saying, it served me well for the 21 years I was getting hit in the head. It served me well. I don't know, Bill's character, Bill's that mindset that I have now, the resilience mindset that I have. I've been like, no, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to do this, and so a bit like I started it gave me a little bit of a platform to like kind of step from, with the following I got from fighting. I did lose a lot of them when I started talking about coffee all the time and yoga and stuff. Everyone's like, what is this? I'm leaving. Where's the six-pack gone? but you get them back, whatever. Yeah. But I think, that's just, it really is just like, like you said, make the content, keep making it. Keep still, just do it.
And think of the long gamers. And I mean, like Joe Rogan, who's been doing his podcast for 11, 12 years.
You know what I mean?
Right? Now he's the biggest thing in podcasting. No one's even close. Yeah. But you look at his first videos, they got like 400 downloads, 200 downloads.
And they were all
views, sorry. Not
over
downloads.
Like Skype,
yeah.
Something like that. The worst quality ever. Like, couldn't hear them.
And not just the numbers as well, Ben, and not just the quality, but also the content. Like, I showed Rach a video of his a few years ago, and it's so vulgar. It's so vulgar. It's really, actually difficult to watch. Like with Rach, because she's a bit like, not prudish. That means like, what's prudish mean?
Like not stuck up, but like
proper,
more proper.
Yeah, she's a bit prudish then. Okay, so she's
gonna kill you now.
No, she's though. But
she's nice. That's what you mean.
She's nice.
She's a nice lady. She's.
But I played like a 3-minute clip, and he was saying all these words that were like so vulgar, and I was like, God, this is like not like the Joe Rogan now, because now he's so much more refined and measured, picking up, and that's his growth.
Yeah,
Ben?
his growth.
But his journey. But it is though, like, so it's. One, the numbers didn't put him off. Two, he wasn't fussed about having the best quality sound or video. But he just kept at it,
Yeah.
And 12 years later, now he's, I mean, he's still a work in progress, obviously, but now, I mean, now the guy is changing how Spotify
Works. He just
works.
changed the whole.
He changed
one
it
of the biggest platforms in the world, like just because they wanted him. Yeah.
because he is media now. Like him and people like him are media, because what we realize is mainstream media, or actually, it's funny. Like, do you call, say, like,
What do I call the mainstream?
Yeah, exactly. Because say CNN.
Well, my mainstream is like YouTube and podcasting and.
Well, I think it has to be redefined to say traditional media versus new media.
Yeah.
Put Joe Rogan and his peers, or he doesn't have any peers, but his people in his field would be considered new media, and they're who I think most people look to now for some sort of truth. Because
Can't trust the newspapers and the media.
and he started out on doing Skype calls talking nonsense.
Yeah.
So, but
he does talk some nonsense still.
He does
and stuff,
still,
and,
yeah.
He's whatever, and there's some other ones you can find, other podcasts as well, where there's people. I trust people in podcasts more than I trust some, the news. Which you always have to question everything. That's the thing, isn't it?
Yes.
You always have to kind of do your own research, but that's hard because then how do you research it? You go on the internet, and the internet is controlling what it tells you.
That's the thing, the algorithms, man.
Yeah, I should have brought my tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
Where is it?
But that's the thing. The algorithm. I said to myself, right, I'm off social media, so Facebook, Instagram, whatever, they weren't on my phone. But then I've just been on YouTube, and I'm thinking, YouTube isn't social media, but you're still getting fed an algorithm that reinforces your thoughts already.
Yeah.
What I do now is I force myself to watch things I don't agree with.
Okay.
So I force myself to watch people that I find irritating.
Like Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
But like opinions that I don't resonate with me, I force myself to watch their content so I can get a balance.
Take it in a little bit.
And take it in a little bit and go like, where can I find some rationale here, some reason, as opposed to this person is on that side and they like even the lady, I forget her name, Alison Demera or something. She was really she like talks shit about Joe Rogan all the time. But I was like, instead of villainizing her, that's a word, I'm gonna actually look at her content and see like, does she have a point? And I try and do that a lot, even though, and it's a bit like kind of homework, watching Joe Rogan for me is kind of entertainment, and it's also familiar, and I feel like I know him as a person, I like him, but that's not challenging me. If I watch people that are not in, or maybe on the other side, I'm hopefully come out a bit more balanced, because the algorithm has us in their sights. It's like when you watch TV, the TV isn't watching you. When you see a billboard, the billboard can't see you. When you look at your phone knows what you're doing. And just to be aware of, it's not wrong. I mean, it's great for convenience. If I went on my YouTube and it was showing me Beverly Hills Housewives?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that, right? I'd be like, fuck it, well, I'm not going to look at this because it keeps showing me Beverly Hills Housewives or whatever.
But it doesn't. It shows you things you want to see.
If it shows you want to, that's great, but to be aware that that's what it's showing you. And
like, ooh, barefoot, eco-friendly shoes. I do want those. You
can just order stuff and just, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Okay. That's it. Well, there we
go.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't have a rebuttal, a kind of intellectual rebuttal to all your points.
But you're right. As you said, it's the way the world is going. Where essentially you have a choice.
Yeah.
Convenience or privacy.
Yeah. Like be a part of it, or try live off the grid or whatever.
Live off the grid.
Even then, like, would you be easier to find if you're not with the masses? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's safety in numbers. I don't know. They'll definitely find me. We'll stick together. I'll be behind you. Well, Ben, mate, that was great. I'm going to do a little sign off now. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to do it by yourself?
Huh?
Do you want to do it by yourself?
Well, you can do it.
I don't know. I just thought. Do you want me to interject at all? Or?
Go on.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
No, my sign off. I was going to say. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
How dare you? Sign up for my platform, which you've learned a lot about today, if you would like to. And I've got to think of a better way of selling that platform, haven't I? It's yoga online, and it's also it's really high quality video, really high quality sound as well. The best video sound you can get.
From the comfort of your own home.
Exactly. And I would say it's like being in a yoga class, almost. That's how obviously I would say that, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and subscribe to my YouTube because I need to get.
Oh,
to
yeah,
it.
Ben.
I need to get to 1,000 subscribers.
I need to get to 1,000 subscribers.
It's like,
Exactly.
make some
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
No.
Ben, how do people find you? Because you
YouTube.
got a new Instagram channel.
What?
You got a new Instagram.
Oh, I
page.
made like a content creation page because I wanted to separate everything that's not coffee, basically, because I wasn't putting up a lot of stuff for a while because it wasn't really on brand, as they say. So I created another one called like BF Content Creation, and that's where I put up everything. That's where I'll put up our video once it comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, just Ben Forsyth or BF Content Creation and Ben Forsyth on YouTube, and you'll find some videos of me getting my ass beat in fights as well. If you put in Ben Forsyth into YouTube, and you'll find all the stuff. That's it. Yeah, Twitter, everything's the same. Twitter and Instagram is _Ben Forsyth. Brilliant. YouTube is just Ben Forsyth Coffee or something. I'm really easy to find.
Brilliant.
I'm everywhere. They know everything.
What about do the? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, mate.